So, today is October the 14th, and 954 years ago today, the English had a bit of a bad day. Harold II had just marched down from the Battle of Stamford Bridge, where he had beaten a Viking army, to go and fight a bunch of Norman Vikings, led by William of Normandy, and they lost quite badly. The events recorded in the Bayeux Tapestry. William himself became King of England, having seen over that victorious battle with Harold getting an arrow in his eye and dying as part of that horrible loss. That was a pretty bad day. And so I kind of wanted to mark that somehow. And as I was looking through these amazing cocktails, there was one on Difford's Guide that I really liked, and it was the Brazil 66. You know, it was the only one that had a 66 in the title. Now that was to mark the Brazilian football team's efforts in the 1966 World Cup, which of course was a better day for England because they won that World Cup. But Pelé was kicked all over the place, and they exited at the group stages, and this cocktail kind of marked their 66 campaign. And it was made with cachaça, and that's not really super appropriate for an English-French sort of battle and the French winning. So I invented the following cocktail, which I call the Hastings 66, because it was the Battle of Hastings on that day in 1066. And so, of course, it being the English we're talking about, let's have an English drink to start with. Let's go with some London Dry Gin. I do like Beefeater. Affordable, and it works well in many cocktails. Put in ½ an ounce of that. But now we get the French. Of course, what would they have in place of gin? Cognac, VSOP cognac, and no ½ an ounce for them. In fact, it would be milliliters, probably 100 milliliters, because I'm doing an ounce of cognac like this, straight into the mixing glass. But wait, I'm not done. There's more Frenchiness. Let's have some Grand Marnier. Ha ha ha! This is also going to be stuff. It's not looking good for the English ingredients here, I'll tell you that. But you could use any orange liqueur, to be honest. Some sort of curacao or whatever you want. But I'm using Grand Marnier, and I'm sure that will make it extra delicious. ½ an ounce of that. And now, obviously, it's not a particularly fruity event, but we've got to have some fruit in there as well. I've already measured this out as in this little cute measuring cup I got. ½ an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice and ½ an ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice. And finally, just because there weren't quite enough French ingredients in there, let's have ½ ounce of grenadine. Well, grenadine, okay, pomegranate syrup made 1 or 2 parts sugar to 1 part of pomegranate juice. Of course, the word grenadine comes from the French for pomegranate, but we won't talk about that. A little less this. I don't want to overpower this with sweetness, so I'm going to go for ½ ounce of grenadine. And then finally, just to round things out, bring all those ingredients together, I'm going to put a couple of dashes of orange bitters in there as well. And then we are going to just give that a good shake. You know, you want to do it for about 20-30 seconds, which is not quite as long as the Battle of Hastings last, I'll say that. But I do think it was done in a day, to be honest. Not good. But we won the World Cup, you know, 900 years later, so it can't be all bad, right? Anyway, strain that concoction into your cocktail, and I've got a sort of chalice-looking glass here. Makes me think of the Monty Python's Holy Grail and stuff like this. This isn't really a Holy Grail. So we're talking about big bad loss for the English, really. And then we want just a couple of adornments on this. I am firstly going to peel myself off a nice thick twist of orange. I always think that's good on the orange, and those oils sort of add to the drink as well. But there's one last thing. I mean, it's famous that Harold lost his eye at the Battle of Hastings. So let's put a maraschino cherry in there, a Luxardo maraschino cherry, to represent his poor lost eye. Okay. Allez les, whoever, les Normans, I don't know how I'd say that, but let's see what we've got. Oh yes, This is not mud in your eye. Cheers.